have covered the African community should also, the Star Tribune and those other guys, they're not the only ones. We're here too, ANJ is here, and the guys. So.
We appreciate your presence.
Yeah, so my question to you is I've spoken to some people who are very concerned about, there's been a lot of division because of people, politics. When they're going into politics, they're ruining others' lives by either spreading rumors. Do you promise to run a campaign that will not smear anybody with money?
Well, we can promise you in this public matter that we're going to run a very clean and a very thoughtful campaign. My campaign is going to be based on the quality that the folks my folks bring to the table. We're going to be talking about the issues. We're going to try our best to stay on message. Our campaign will not be in the business of indulging in any kind of dirty politics. So I say to you today, and I'll say to you if you ask me in the next 6 months from now, that we plan to run a very tight, clean, and professional campaign. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
My name is Ben Brown, managing editor of Michigan Media. Mr. Russell, a few years back, you set on the same path to run for the presidency of OLM. And in your communication to the community, you made it clear that because of time constraints, you could not come up with the needed manpower and the financial backing to continue your campaign. Now, how prepared are you this time around that it is September and we're talking about election in November?
Thank you. I try my best to put this whole thing to rest, and there have been some rumors, circulating about what happened during the last election cycle. I did not join the race the last time. This is my first time officially announcing my candidacy for OLM. I toyed with the idea to run the last time, but for me, it's not a matter of just running for elections or being elected. I decided to put myself forward because I believe I have the skill set necessary to move this community forward. I have the connections, and I've built some networks and some relationships, some very strategic relationships in this state that I think would pay a great dividend to this community. So last time around, the last election cycle, I went around and talked to a number of people, sort of testing the water, and tried to get people to join my team to move this community forward. A lot of people were very ambivalent about joining the race because of the dirty nature of politics, the dirty nature of community politics, the dirty nature of that have been pervasive in OLM politics. And I promise you that we're going to change that. And I didn't join the race at the time formally because a number of those people that I talked to try to get them in said that they didn't want to be a part of it. I can't run the OLM by myself. So, I believe that if I don't get the support I need, if I don't get people that I believe in, people that I believe have the skill set necessary to work with me to move the community forward, there's no need of stepping forward to run. So this time around, I have the commitment from a highly qualified, librarians here in this community to help me to move this community forward. This is why I decided to step forward. Back then, I didn't have it, and I did not, formally announce my candidacy. This is the first time that I'm announcing my candidacy, and I'm telling you now that we're in it to win it. I'm in this race to the end, and I'm not.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Abraham Solo, and my question for Mr. Russell. Mr. Russell, you are entering the field when a lot of alternate community division with the organization, I heard you refer to grassroots participation, which is dear to my heart. I would like to know, how do you intend to achieve the grassroots participation that you spoke about?
Well, one of the things we want to do, and I think you all can look in my history, and a number of people here that know me, that have worked with me on so many different levels and in so many different capacities. They will tell you that one of the greatest assets that I bring to this table is my ability to network, is my ability to build bridges, is my ability to build relationships. And I'm going to harness my good relationship with a number of these community-based organizations. As I see it, it's not, you know, OLM is not this big elephant in town and is going to try to do everything. What we're going to do, what our administration is going to do, is work with all these community-based organizations, many of whom I already have, you know, very strong and tangible relationships with. I'm going to go to the meetings. I'm going to, if I find an organization that is probably engaging in an activity or in a program, OLM doesn't have to do everything. My administration is not going to try to do everything. If the Liberian Youth Network, for example, is designing a program to work with with after-school kids, OLM will go to Liberian Youth Network and empower Liberian Youth Network and help to provide some resources to Liberian Youth Network to make sure that these kids are taken care of, or that we have a very robust after-school program, for example. So the Liberian Women Initiative, or the Bond County, you know, Association, or whatever the organization is, you know, our administration is going to try to work. Is going to work with all those groups. We don't see them as adversaries. We see them as partners. We see them as partners, and we're going to build the partnership and maintain, you know, a very cordial professional relationship with all these organizations.
Let me add a piece to this. One of the reasons why some of us have decided to be visible and to sit with Mr. Russell is that most of these organizations have lacked capacity. OLM has not been able to build the capacity that these organizations need. We've got ties in a variety of different organizations, and what we're going to do is to tap the networks that we've established, our own expertise, and support each of these organizations to make them stronger. Because if each of our community organizations is strong, it means our community is strong. But what has happened over the time has been that OLM wants to be an entity standing on its own. On this occasion, we're not going to stand on our own. We're going to support other organizations so that they can support us. Where we have the expertise, we will provide it. Within our community, we'll come in our community and find expertise. Outside of our community, we'll go and find the resources, and we will tap our network. You can rest assured that this is a different administration, capable Liberians, making sure that our country that we call Liberia and the community that we represent never again will be looked down upon. Never again will our people suffer. You have some very smart Liberians with significant skills. If you look at our age group between 25 and 40, God has blessed us, and we've not tapped that pool of resource. And one of the things that attracts people to a group is that they see the caliber of people associated with that group. And today, you see all of the media organizations represented here. If you even join another campaign, look at what we've offered. You might change your mind. Yes, ma'am.
So, my name is Keisha Walker. I represent the Minneapolis Urban League. About 15 years or more ago, OLM was a force to be reckoned with within the state of Minnesota. A lot of Liberians have lost hope. You can clearly see that the current administration and those before them have not delivered half of all that they've promised. What strategic plan do you have to bring hope back in amongst our Liberian community to try to unite us, for us to support OLM and to come together as a unit as we used to be 15 or more years ago?
Well, we've identified what we call 5 pillars that's going to represent the hallmark of our administration. The 5 pillars are: we're going to work to make sure that the DED that the Liberians just received, we're going to work with all stakeholders in the community and outside of the community to make sure that DED becomes a permanent residency for all Liberians. The second pillar that form a very critical part of our platform is building an effective children and youth program. We're going to make sure that we have a program programs that address teenage pregnancy. We're going to have a youth summit. We're going to design programs and initiatives, or work with organizations within the community that provide programs and initiatives addressing violent and criminal activities in our community, illicit drug use, and reduce school dropout rates. So all of those will form part of our building of an effective children and youth program. The third pillar is revitalizing our financial vitality in OLM. One of the things that we are planning to initiate, we're going to launch a $200,000 capital campaign to return OLM to financial solvency. We believe we have the clout, we believe we have the skill, we believe we have the network, we believe we have the experience to raise that money and make sure that OLM can become a very financially stable and sufficient organization. The fourth pillar is that we're going to design education and professional development programs that will address the underemployment of our people. There are a number of Liberians there that are highly skilled, and they have gotten educated in Liberia or other parts of the world, and once they get here, you find out that some of them cannot work in their field, or can't find jobs in the field. So one of the things we're going to try to do is to work with state agencies, accounting organizations, to make sure that we design programs to help augment the capacity, help update the skills of some of our Liberians. I know many folks there that have medical degrees that are working as security guards. So how do we tap those resources? How do we tap the pool, the skilled pool of Liberians that we have, and harness all of that for the betterment of this community?